Oh jeez, that was a crazy week.
Hello.
Oh, hi. What are you up to?
I've been keeping myself rather busy here. Working every shift I can.
Tell me about it. I'm so tired. I think this is because of my life. Yeah, living is pretty exhausting.
This might get your gears in motion.
Oh, that would be really nice of you. What? Wait. Stop! Okay, video starts at this point if you're really annoyed by introductions. Introduction! Due to language barrier, I watched Salad Fingers only a couple of months ago. To be honest, I found it fascinating. When I heard about the series, I thought it was just a stupid horror cartoon with screamers, cause this stuff was popular in early 2000s. But I was wrong. Salad Fingers is not scary but interesting and hypnotizing. It reminds me my favorite cartoon 12 Ounce Mouse, which I rewatched like 18 times or so. Salad Fingers left me with the feeling that it has a story and it's not just someone's bad trip. So I want to present how I understand Salad Fingers. Let's start with Salad Fingers himself. I think nobody would argue that he has some mental issues. And I like to play psychiatrist, so let's find out! And the very first diagnosis that came to mind is schizophrenia, spectrum disorder, basically every mental illness spectrum. So Salad Fingers definitely experiences delusions, like he believes that he lives during the Great War. In the episode Cupboard, Salad Fingers listens to the radio and thinks that it talks directly to him. And it's one of the common schizophrenia hallucinations that DJ on radios or actors from shows talk about them or directly to them. In the episode Birthday, we see that Horace is Salad Fingers' hallucination. First we see Salad Fingers entering the room and Horace is on the shelf as a toy. But then we see it from Salad Fingers' perspective and see Horace as a real horse. Also, he has a unique manner of speech, and wag and metaphorical thinking manifested by odd speech is one of the symptoms of schizotypical personality disorder. So, Salad Fingers has schizotypical personality disorder, but no, he doesn't. Delusions are not exclusive for schizophrenia spectrum disorders, and usually people with schizophrenia believe that someone could steal their thoughts, or in case of schizotypical personality disorder, patients tend to think that all people around them secretly hate them, talk bad things behind their backs, or even want to kill them, and we observed nothing of it in Salad Fingers' behavior. As for hallucinations, they don't seem as actual hallucinations. People with schizophrenia spectrum disorders usually describe their mental illness as a dream that never ends, and it's extremely unlikely that Salad Fingers has some issues. Believing that a toy is alive looks more like a child imagination than something psychotic. The segment with the radio also happens in Salad Fingers' flashback or daydream, so it doesn't deal with the reality. And I believe that Salad Fingers stuck in his childhood and that he actually just played with their environment and it's not psychotic delusions. So, please leave me alone. Why did you spend so much time explaining this if it's wrong? Because I'm sick and tired of specialists who diagnose real people with such disorders as schizophrenia when they know nothing about it and they make everyone believe that acting weird equals schizophrenia. Do you have a diploma? No, I don't. So what's the difference? You know, Salad Fingers is just a character. He won't suffer if I diagnose him wrong. And he won't take wrong medicines or ignore help of real doctors as it could happen to a real person. You know that it's not an argument. Okay. Don't 100% trust me and double check any information about mental illnesses. Are you happy now? Yes. But nevertheless, I will regret about saying this, but Sourfinger seems to have an autistic spectrum disorder. Let's define the autistic spectrum disorder first. Autism is not being weird and stupid as it is presented in memes. It is a neurodevelopmental disorder and it is not funny. If you want to know more about it, I recommend to watch a video by Amethyst Shaber because it's the most informative video about ASD I found on YouTube. I will use the word autistic a lot, but by that I mean a person with ASD, and only that. Take a look at this moment.
You're but a hollow structure.
The movements that Saladfingers does with his fingers looks like a stim. It's repetitive movements that have emotional connotation, unlike fidgeting that non-autistic and especially people with ADHD experience. In this moment, Saladfingers is upset and his body responds this way. We see him stimming not only in the 10th episode, but even in the very first one, when he enters a new house. The majority of autistic people also suffer from dyspraxia, which is a lack of coordination and problems with manipulating small objects like a ball, for example. In simple words, it's clumsiness. In 9th episode, Saladfingers tells Yvonne to do her exercises.
You're supposed to be doing your exercise, Yvonne. A lethargic child is a servant to the beast.
Children with dyspraxia need to spend more energy to do exercises and are often blamed for being lazy or, lethargic. But they can't do anything with their condition. And I think Saladfingers projects what his parents said to him when he was a little boy. People with ASD also sound monotone, and compare these clips.
Back you go then. Back to the ghastly trenches. I only ask that our Creator return you unspoilt from the cruel hand of war. Dreamt of taps. Taps. When I find which one of you wretched beasts consumed Mr. Cubicle's flesh, there'll be heavens to pay.
Not a big difference. It doesn't seem to be just a bad voice acting. I think it was made intentionally. And finally, the most well-known autistic trait, a special interest. Many people think that it is a talent at some subject. And yeah, people with ASD can be interested in math, art, chemistry, and so on. But in general, the special interest can be anything. And by anything, I mean absolutely anything. It could be counting, playing Mario, collecting shells, and even resting taps, and making accessorizes out of human flesh. Yay! Also, Saladfingers tends to be alone, and as we see in Cardboard, he keeps his emotions inside. So I believe Saladfingers is autistic. It doesn't mean that every person with ASD acts like Saladfingers. Autistic people are people after all, and even though they share some traits, they are different. But we are not done yet. Saladfingers' autism explains maybe 10% of the whole series, and I've already thought about everything of these 10%. The truth is deeper. Hi guys, I really didn't want to separate this video, but I have to. I had no time for editing because I was really busy, and now I'm also really sick. I've already received some letters from YouTube, and basically if I don't upload my videos once per week, YouTube will forget about me. I don't want to make YouTube forget about me, but more important, I don't want to make you forget about me. So I guarantee that the next part will be much more interesting and will be much better edited than this part. And the next time we will talk about Saltfinger's trauma. Okay? So subscribe to my channel to not miss it. See you soon.